Hey guys, it's Postbox Pat. Welcome back to the storyline video you've all been waiting for. We've got a little bit of a twist on it today though, because I need your help to help me solve questions which I've put together of topics that I don't fully understand in the storyline, and you're going to answer them by voting on the cards. So make sure you watch throughout the video. There's going to be questions throughout the entire video. There are only going to be a few answers. You just pre-select the answers and it will help me out a lot and the community as a whole. Okay, so we're in a situation where obviously we've got Shadow v Ghost, and that's the way the storyline looks like it's going, and we can develop the map as we go through. It will obviously be done in small LTM type things. Now, we've got something pretty interesting, the current lobby screen. This is where questions start to appear, because in the past, the lobby screen has had no effect on the Fortnite storyline, but this season, I don't know the answer to this. So I'll put a question up in a second, but as we're going through this, I just want to state a few things. So we have the Brutus skin, who in the actual grotto himself, it isn't any of the Shadow or Ghost variants, so we don't actually know what the grotto or who owns the grotto at all, because it's just the standard version of the skin. Now, however, with Midas, he actually has the Ghost variant over at the agency. So I think it's quite an interesting concept and something to consider there. So the first question for you guys is, do you think the lobby screen will have an effect on the Fortnite storyline? Do you think it's going to change things? I kind of do, because we have this new voting system, it looks like, on the computer on the right, where we're going to be able to pick our team, Shadow versus Ghost. Now this leads into the next question regarding a voting system. Do you think that this computer is going to be a voting system? Yes or no? Answer in the card on the right hand side. All you got to do if you can't see the card is click the little I button at the top right of the video if you are struggling to see it. Make sure you do answer all the questions throughout today's video. It really does help me out and the whole community. Now Deadpool himself seems to be having some sort of crazy kind of impact on the story. Currently, he's clearly not dressed because his outfits, or maybe he's got several of them, are in the washing machine and he's out there doing something. But we actually see him in the Fortnite trailer right here. We can see him behind Peely, giving him his suit. But what's really interesting about this is we see the Ghost logo at the top left, but Peely himself comes out dressed as the Shadow version. Now, have Shadow taken over maybe one of Ghost's layers? Potentially. We also know that Shadow and Ghost were originally Alter and Ego, but their name has changed. We'll talk a little bit further about that in a second as we continue to go through. So we are in a little bit of a sticky situation. What's going on? Another screenshot from the trailer is this one, and you can see on screen right now. This is another one which kind of is a little bit confusing, because again we can see Shadow variants in a Ghost room, which just makes no sense to me. But obviously it's the trailer, and not always the trailer or the lobby screens have an impact on the Fortnite storyline. So that's something I thought I'd question for everybody out there. So last season we were left off in a situation where Kaos Agent had his whole army. He had his slurp army, or his sludge army should I say. He had a lot of things going on, and he was still in that layer. Now that layer itself is still closed up, and as we know, Kaos Agent was part of the Alter team, which is now known as Shadow. So I think that was something that was quite interesting to consider last season, because obviously Kaos Agent himself was a huge impact on this season. In my opinion, it kind of makes no sense how the season's actually got to this point. So I've been looking at different things and kind of considering what is going on here. So we consider that the whole map itself has developed so many new things, and obviously we've got the shark, which is a whole brand new island, and we can assume that would take roughly 5 to 20 years to actually construct naturally, or even be constructed in the world the way it has been. And we can also consider that these buildings that have popped up, like the agency and all the other places like the grotto, these things may have appeared over a long period of time in the world of Fortnite. You know, it is possible, but it's not something that's going to happen next week, as in it was back in season 1 where Kaos Agent was forming his army. But we still don't know what's inside that bunker. Is Kaos Agent still in there? Most likely, and he is still either hiding away in there, because we don't know how long Kaos Agent can live for. Even if this season is, say, 200 years in the future, we don't know what Kaos Agent's made of. We see that kind of like dark substance on him when we actually have the skin. So we're not 100% sure how long he can live for. So who knows exactly what is going on? Is he the top villain and he's hidden away in his bunker waiting to strike? We just don't know. Well guys, now we're going to pop into a little bit of a replay, because I want to show you guys something over at Frenzy Farm. This is something regarding a voting system, which I might need your help to kind of work out something. So we see that we have these post boxes right here. We have one with obviously the classic Ghost sign on, and then on the other side of the farm we also have one with the Shadow sign on it. So are they recruiting? I need you guys to answer that question right now, because this is something that I need to know. I need to find out if you guys know the answer to this are these recruiting for something? Maybe an army, maybe some sort of battle. And that is something which actually leads me on to discuss something further, which I will do for you guys. So, do you think, because on screen right now you can see a few posters, this could be more of a political thing rather than a battle/war? So this actually could be like politics that we see nowadays in most countries. Could this be what's happening in Fortnite? I personally don't think so, but you just don't know. So here's another question for you guys. Answer the question. Do you think that potentially what is going on could be political related in the Fortnite storyline this season? It's a great question, and it is definitely worth your answer if you can let me know down in the card section, which would really help me out. Okay, with that being said, we do have a few other points to point at this season regarding the storyline. We know that there's a few different layers and all sorts of different stuff around the map, but the only one we have proper evidence for that is owned by a team is the center island, which is Ghost. Currently, we don't know the other 4 new point of interest which team own them. I've had discussions on my Discord and discussions with people in real life, and most people are saying different stuff. No one actually knows the answers for it. So if you want to comment down below what you think of that, let me know. Now, if you're finding this video interesting, let me know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to smash a like. And roughly 50% of you guys watching the video are not already subscribed, so do consider that to keep up to date with similar content to this. And also, guys, you can also go and support me in the item shop with code PostboxPat. I am an Epic Games partner, and it does help me out every little. I'm still saving up for my PC. We're almost there. We're just over halfway. So everyone who is using code PostboxPat is helping out for that. But thank you so much, everyone who is supporting me, the 1,000 people. Let's see if we can get up to 2,000 supporters. That would mean so much to me. Chances of it is pretty low, but if you just go and enter it, we will. Okay, so as we were talking about that, you can see that we've been flying over to the yacht itself. Now, the yacht has something very interesting on it as well. Now, the yacht has obviously kind of drove itself or kind of sailed its way in, and obviously you can see the skin on the inside is the classic Midas skin, but he seems to have like a different look to him. It definitely looks a little bit different from the classic Midas in my opinion, but it's gold. So is this part of Ghost's, this ship? You can clearly see that it's white as well, which is the main color for Ghost's kind of brand. So I think potentially this could be a location that is a key point of interest for Ghost. But like I said, we could be deciding which locations become Ghost and Shadow. This will most likely be done throughout the season in that voting screen where we can pop into LTMs as well and kind of battle stuff out. I'm not 100% certain how it's going to be done yet, but obviously closer to the time we'll get into that. So finally, the final question I've got for you guys, which we'll jump into in a second, is actually more evidence from the original trailer which we saw for this season. So we can see all of the different troops dropping off, which is really key, but the one troop which really gets me is when this tree gets called and he moves away from the tree. We can obviously see in the background right there that there's a reference to the 7. Now, I know a lot of you already know this, but this is a question which I need help with. Do you think, guys, that the 7 themselves are going to return this season, or in the upcoming chapter at least? So I've got a question for that. So right now on the card you can select, do you think the 7 is just an Easter egg and they're not returning, or do you think they actually are going to return? Because obviously we only know 3 of them. I personally think they may return, but I also think Fortnite could just be referencing an Easter egg here, because I do think Chapter 2 could be an entire new era without the 7 at all. But I feel like evidence from last season's storyline kind of leads into this. The one thing that really has frustrated me about this season's storyline is we're really left on kind of like no storyline at all. Because last season, the storyline was getting built up so much by me and a lot of my friends at Top 5 Gaming. They've really created such hype for the storyline and given such a good set in stone for it. And then they kind of just like switch over to season 2 and have no like crossover at all with the storyline. We don't see any reference to Kaos Agent other than the bunker's still closed. We don't really see anything really other than Alter and Ego has changed their name to Shadow and Ghost. So I think this is kind of like an interesting thing for us to all know that the storyline has gone really off track. But there is still something there with this voting system at the post boxes, which is something we should all consider being part of the storyline. The only conclusion I can come up with the storyline this season is that we've advanced into the future, as we do in every single season, by a good few years. We clearly know this from back in season 8 when that released from 8 to 9. We obviously had the actual bunker itself, which everyone ran into, and then what's his name? Was it Peely Jones? I can't remember his name, but the Jonesy Peely skin came out of it, or Bunker Jonesy, that was it. and he actually ate the peely and survived in the bunker, and the whole map had changed to Neo theme. So this is something which I think may have happened this season again. I feel like Kaos Agent has been locked down in his bunker. He hasn't revealed his sludge armor yet. He's all still in the bunker ready to go, and he's ready just to press one button and the whole season is just going to go like crazy and everything's going to go mad on the map. So obviously he's trying to recruit people. I have no idea where Midas has come from, where the shark has come from. Obviously you can consider that the ghetto and obviously the rig itself have been constructed. They make sense, but the shark just doesn't seem something that you construct, and obviously the yacht coming in, I don't know how that's got there either. I guess it's just kind of drove him maybe from another island. So we are really in a very sticky situation. These are all things that I've been thinking. I can't ask all these questions because there's only a limit to 5 questions I can add to the video, but these are just general points that are all going through my mind, and I've been discussing with Top 5 Gaming a little bit about the storyline and a few other people as well, and it really is very complicated this season. So these questions are something that's quite important for us as a channel and a community, so make sure you do answer all of them in the card section. You can go and review them in the cards. It really does help me out, and comment down below your theories. It really mean a lot to me if you let me know what you guys are thinking about the storyline, because in my personal opinion I'm so confused right now, and I love making these storyline videos, but I have nothing to go off. Like, there's no kind of loading screens, there's nothing really going on other than this battle between Shadow and Ghost, so it's confusing. Hopefully something will be untold towards the end with the Kaos Agent, and it's very similar to what we had in season 5. So if you remember the season 5 storyline, it was very dull, nothing was going on, and then right at the end of season 5 the cube came out of nowhere, out of the sky, and the whole storyline carried on. And that is kind of maybe what's happening this season. I don't see anything suddenly just appearing from the sky, but I definitely see something appearing from the bunker, and that would definitely tell us something that's going on in this world, which would make sense because we know that Kaos Agent's inside that bunker still. He's got to be. It's closed. Something's inside there, and we saw some screenshots from last season with Kaos Agent potentially being still inside that. So hopefully, with a little bit of luck, he may still be in there. That's what I'm hoping anyway. If he's not, I have no idea where the storyline is going, but we'll have to work it out as a community, and hopefully we'll eventually solve it for this season. Or what's really important is solving the transition from season 1 to 2. I don't get it, so we've really got to think about it and understand it. Whereas last season, obviously you can see some like the event right now on screen, the transition from here to chapter 2 made perfect sense. We saw the little dialogue at the start, we saw everything. This season is very confusing with this agency stuff at this moment in time. Obviously as the season develops, we'll hopefully get a more understanding to how this has happened, why they've come, and obviously is the Kaos Agent still out there. These are all things that I hope to be answered throughout this season. I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you want any more videos of mine, I've got a really great video, probably the best video on YouTube right now on how to level up this season as fast as possible. I did so many calculations in that video, and a lot of the videos out there are just naff. They just don't go over anything. They just say basic stuff like play Team Rumble. We all know that gives the most XP. So go and check that video out because it tells you guys other ways you can gain XP other than just playing Team Rumble. It gives you so much kind of like insight to how the XP system works, and also how long it's going to actually take us all for those that bought tier 1 of the battle pass like myself. It's a great video. Highly recommend checking it out. Also, I've got a video on all the secret map changes and all the Easter eggs. That's up on my channel. I am working on a second one of them, which isn't out yet, but I hope to get it out in the next few days. It's going to be a great video for you guys. That's coming soon as well with all the other Easter eggs that we've missed. But yes, that's a great video, and also some how to win and tips and tricks just in general throughout chapter 2 season 2 on my channel. I'll see you guys in them videos. Go and check them out.